Welcome to the Sunday night talk. And before I start, a few things. There's a link to my website, I think, below the video. And in there you can find links to if you want private one-to-one sessions with me. Hi, Paul. Yeah, I'm good. I'm hot and tired because of the heat. If you want one-to-one sessions with me, you can find information there. And there's also a link there to my books, events, when they happen. I'm going to have a webinar on the last Saturday of this month in the afternoon. It's a whole afternoon, 2 till 5:30. There's a limited number of places. So if you want to come to that, please look at my website and you'll get all the information there. Yes, if you'd like to donate to this talk, I'd be very grateful. And if you want to make that easier, you can also become a Patreon, become a patron. And even if it's just $2 or £2 a month, it really helps me out, and it does add up. The more people who do it, because I know each week it's a pain in the ass to go to my PayPal or whatever. But if you want to become a patron, I'll be very grateful to just give a little bit to the hour that I give every week for free, because I don't put adverts on my channel, so I don't even have that. Yeah, I think that's it. Hi, Paul. Hi, Donnie. Hi, Maddie. Hey, Jim. Hey, other Paul. Oh, yeah, and I have a Wednesday night chat group as well. Oh, they're not really, but it's a really thin shirt. It's like really, really thin. It's actually thinner wearing a t-shirt. So it's okay. I have a fan under the table. And I just had a shower, so my hair's all wet at the back, so it keeps me cool. I'm okay. I'm hardcore. So, hey, Phyllis. So this message, I called this, didn't I? I called it something. I can't see it now. Something like there's nothing to get. What I'm speaking about, and a lot of you know this already, but sometimes I need to say it. This message is not a spiritual message. It's got absolutely nothing to do with spirituality, religion, belief, progress, path, practices, nothing. You could say it's the opposite, if there was such a thing. It's got nothing to do with that. It's also got nothing to do with therapy. It's got nothing to do about making your life better, healing your past, bringing abundance, all those things that the person identifies with as its life. It's not going to give the appearance of a person anything, nothing. The person that runs around in the head and in the body as a contracted feeling will never ever hear what's being said. It will never hear it. It can be heard, but that's just another appearance, but it can be heard. And then in that hearing, there's a possibility of that whole appearance of me not being there anymore. I don't like to give a word to it because the word collapsing has got like so much. I mean, am I using it again? Because I'm always contradicting myself. But the word collapsing has a connotation to it, as if there's something to collapse. It's like the end of a dream, the end of a dream person. Maybe that's why they call it waking up, because it's like it's the end of a dream. For some people, it's the end of a nightmare dream. But that dream is never, ever going to hear this message. Because what this message says is that this is all there is. There is nothing to get. Where is this something to get? Where is it? It's an idea. It's an idea. It's a belief. It's a hope. It's a want. It's a wish. That I want a better life for me, who doesn't exist. Hi, Ella. It doesn't exist. It appears, there's no doubt about that. It appears, but it doesn't exist because nothing exists as a permanent state. There is no person. There's no permanent person because there's nothing permanent. This is just energy appearing as form. It's formless and form all at once. But those are just words. They can't be understood. They'll never be got. It's the end of it. It's the end of anybody getting anything. Which is tricky for the me. Impossible. It's just never... It's just a no. It's just a no. And we've tried everything, haven't we, to get rid of this me. We've meditated, practiced, gone to gurus, spent loads of money, more than $2 a month, thousands of pounds, and never actually got anywhere because no one's ever actually moved. If you look at this, what is happening now, has it ever actually moved? It's never actually moved. It's just a different appearance, but it's the same energy. I use energy for want of a better word. There's no word for this. This is absolutely beyond description. I don't mean that in some sort of highfalutin way where I'm seeing something you're not. Like I'm seeing some sort of higher energy and you're not. I don't mean it in that way. There really is no description. There really is nothing to get. All that's left is what already was always here. This aliveness, this life, whatever it is. And it's vast in its multifaceted appearances. It's vast. It's not just people. It's amazing how people make people the center of everything. If we all wake up, the world will change. The world will change. Everything will change. That kind of idea. Absolute arrogance of the human to think that it has any influence on what is, because it is what is, or it has no influence on what is, because it is what is. It has no bearing on anything. If the whole world wakes up, I get asked that quite a lot. People get offended by my answer. There is no world to wake up. The world, the life, is already awake. But it isn't somebody who's awake or something is awake. It's already free. It's already here. It's so bloody obvious. It's already here. And the person says, where, I need to get it, I need to get it. That is it, appearing as that. It is absolutely perfect, appearing as a me. It's just, that's it, that's it. Yeah, but the me has to collapse and me has to do this and this. No, no, it doesn't have to do anything. It can't do anything. Also in this appearance, there is someone like me talking about the me being an illusion. And it can fall away. I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen a few times in my Skype calls over the past 2 years. There are human beings who are no longer me's in my life. Okay, I think that's it. Hi, Ramona. It's got nothing to do about making your life better. Right, I'm off. It's a joke. But the me is far more concerned with seeking a better life than the end of me. Yeah, well, some me's are very concerned with the end of me because it thinks that I will get something from having no me. But it's the end of it. It's the end of having anything. That's why this is not a spiritual message. It's about all that's happening here is an apparent woman called Lisa sitting here saying, this is everything. This is it. Everything else, the future, the past, the getting, the wanting, everything else is all just going on in the head. Everything else. It's a big, fat story. Me, my life. The me is also contracted, but no wonder. It's been living in absolute fear for decades, probably. Constriction, self-awareness, self-consciousness. But really, it's all going on in the head. So this is appearing as a human, there, wherever, with a story and a contracted sense of self, which is a belief of I need to find something that isn't here. And also it can have the story, I want to find something that is here, that she's seeing, that I'm not. Another story of the me. That there's something actually within the table, the walls, the space that is hidden from me. It is hidden from me. The only thing that hides it is me. As I said last week, it's personhood. The hood of the person. But you can just look out at the hood of the person. That's all it can do. But there's nothing actually here. It's already here. Hi, Miss Line. I love non-duality. You explained the paradox well. Thank you. William, welcome, Lisa. Thank you. Welcome, William. So, who wants to start? Explain the paradox well. Yeah, it's a bit of a paradox. It's a bit of a... It just can't be said. It can't be said. There's no words for this. Because words are it. It's beyond words. It's certainly beyond the human brain. The person thinks the brain is it itself. It's not. It's just a brain. Just a brain. a machine that's got very confused and now thinks it's a person. Nobody wants to. Oh, they'll start appearing soon. I'll take it easy for the before the stream questions. I need lots of questions because I need to wake up. I'm so I'm dazed by the heat. I don't have any aircon, so I'm literally just blowing hot air around the room with my fan. It's better than still hot air. Hey, Paul. Even though I know the me isn't there, it feels like the me is there and on and on and on. Yes, yes. Yes, it's there till it's not, which is a real bummer for me. Because it wants to think there's some sort of end in sight. And it's saying the story, is that vodka? No. Neat vodka, imagine. Actually, I drink. Even the me is having the story of I know there is no me. It's the same one. It's the same one. It's actually gin. No one can know that the me isn't real. You can't know that. It just isn't real. It isn't a person. It appears because the human can feel it. It believes it. It has the whole story. Me and my life. Me and my life. I want to be free. I want to be free. This story, I want to be free. The person never becomes free. There is only freedom. And nobody gets anything from it. Miss Line. I've noticed here in America that the less I care about my story, the less I fit in socially. Whereas when I used to care about my story, I fit in and had more friends. However, I feel much better without a story than with one. Yeah. Absolutely. That can happen. Some people do fit in socially. They've got the gift of the gab, so they say. I would say the same is true here, actually. I don't fit in at all. Yeah, not really. And I don't feel the need to. It seems like I stopped caring so much that it's scary to others that have stories. Yes. It's a good way to, for the friends who basically have you as a kind of a, what do you call it? If someone wants to just get a feed off you with their story, acknowledge my story, acknowledge my real story, they're getting a feed off you. There's nothing wrong with that, of course. But when the belief in those stories are not there, you can listen to a certain degree. Then it gets to a point where it's like, actually, I just don't really care about your story. The minute you stop caring for people and the things, the situations that happen to them. But they're old story. They're old stories about themselves. Yeah. It can become wearing. Yeah. I definitely find it wearing. When people go on and on and on about the story. Yeah. Feel like me, Miss Like, I'm a hermit up in the mountains. I do socialise a bit, but not for long. There's a couple of people I know down a cafe who run a cafe, and I go down there and have a have a coffee down there and I talk to them for half an hour to an hour. And that's as much as I can kind of take, really. Phyllis, the vampires and parasites disappear. Yeah, or sometimes you get some proper Klingons. You can get some Klingons, clinging on for dear life, as if they're the only sort of blood bank in the world. I mean, I get them because I'm a speaker. Some people, very rarely, but some people cling on to me as if I have something to give them. And I certainly don't have anything to give anybody. Yeah. William, is there any mercy in this world? I don't know what you mean by that. Can you explain that a bit better? Maddie, do you find the same thing about the story with family? Yeah. Still want to hear about it. Not interested. No one really does that to me in my family. They know they won't get anything out of me. I'll be like, no, not interested. Paul, I can't get it, but I know I can't get it. Is that just more story? Kind of, yeah. Let me just look at that. I can't get it. It's all the one life appearing, is that? It's also instantaneous, Paul. It's also spontaneous. So all these things that appear are it. There's nothing wrong with any of them. They're it. There is nobody. There is nobody. Don't mean body, person. There is no person. So the human saying, I can't get it, but I know I can't get it. Nobody's doing that. The me might be going, yeah, but I'm doing that. But no one's doing that either. No one's doing any of it. It's absolute aliveness, just expressing itself as every single little nuance in this appearance. Every nuance is aliveness being expressed in that form. Ella, my neighbour is constantly talking about how he was an alcoholic a whole life and now he has a year being sober, like every single freaking day. Hugs, Ella, hugs. I mean, me to you. I feel your pain. Oh my God, I can stand that. I'll be like, darting through the car. I'm in a hurry. I have a neighbour, if I see her, she likes to tell me what's been on LBC radio news. As much as she can. As if I care. As if I care. It always starts off with, isn't it awful what? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't listen to the news. Hi, before I am. I find my head blows up listening to people constantly repeating the same stories. I hardly socialise anymore, and I know that's not good, really. Yeah, you have to find a different tribe. Or people who have very limited amount of stories. Yeah. Yeah. People's sad story. My sad, sad story that makes me me, and all this nonsense. And you can't say that to anybody because they'll just think you're some sort of uncompassionate, crazy person. It says, this message makes you more and more careless of it. Yeah. Not careless as in, well, for me, I can only speak for me, okay? I can't speak for anybody else. I mean, yeah. It hasn't made me careless towards people, like in not caring about their welfare and being kind to people. But it makes me care less and less and less about people's old sob stories, that's for sure, and the news. I care when I care, but as a whole, that there's nothing feeding in. There's nothing feeding in here. I had a friend call me this week. She's like, "Have you disappeared?" I was just like, sometimes I forget. It's like, oh my God, like a week's gone by and I haven't really spoken to anybody. You know, because it's just, everything is a flow. Everything is a flow. If there was a me, when there was a me happening here, there would have been this big story of like, oh, I'm so alone, and oh, I wish people cared about me, and And I used to, actually, back then, I used to have a lot of friends, and yeah, that big story goes up, doesn't it? It says, say I find myself being alone a lot. Yeah, but it's not lonely, is it? It's not lonely. Because everything's in a flow. And if I suddenly feel like, oh, it'd be really nice to speak to such and such, I just drop them a wet message. Hey, you want to chat? You know, it's just in the flow of things. It's not someone sitting there giving a sob story about why they're alone for a whole week or whatever. 4 a.m. Sorry, Holly. So that's okay. Gosh, so many. Paul, thanks. I wanted to go to Tony's meeting yesterday, and all these excuses came up and got in the way. Yep, I didn't go. That's just what's happened. Yes. No one did anything of that, Paul. That's just what happened. Apparently happened. Because where is it now? Where is it? It's like being alone equals another story. Yeah, I think what is meant by when someone said being alone, that they're literally not with other people. The body is not with other people. Very convincing and sneaking appearance. Being alone. I think that's more loneliness, isn't it? Than being alone. Yeah, it's like, well, this body's alone in a room, physically, but not really, because it's all you guys. Ella, I see how the verbiage is constantly the same, as if there is the need to say it over and over again. Yes, well, it wants constant reassurance, isn't it? That, you know, it's safe. Stories make the me feel safe. It's solid. It's got a solid story. It's got solid ground. And the future story as well. Well, I look forward to this holiday. I look forward to that next week. I look forward to that tomorrow. It gives some stability. The illusion of time gives stability to the story of me. Excuse me. So hot. It's been like 45 degrees up here. It's going to get hotter apparently. Just have to like sit in a bucket all day. Yeah, stories are a safe haven for me, for sure. Because without the story of me, it will go insane. It has to have a story that keeps the appearance stable somehow. And time is one of those constructs, those ideas, so it can live in time in a story. And then one day I told him to stop this story because I have no idea who he's talking about. I never met that drunk person. Surely he seemed confused. Yeah, why wouldn't you want to hear his story? 365 days of the year, Ella. I used to think as long as you are taking care of yourself and not hurting anybody, then that's good enough. Whether you are socially extroverted or introverted, either way is a perfect expression. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah. As I said earlier, some people are very sociable. Every character is different. Every character is different. There's no like one type of character. I guess you can put them in categories, but there's no right for there's no right or wrong. William, why am I suffering so much? It's a bit of a general question. I think I'd have to need to be a bit more specific. Miss Line, guilt about not socializing, another appearance to bring me back. It seems so. Yeah, well, you can't bring back me. When the me's no longer, when that appearance disappears, I can't imagine it coming back. I can't see how that. I don't see. There wouldn't be any guilt anyway, so there wouldn't be anything to bring the me back. Guilt is a me story. And loving being alone, so peaceful. Yeah, it suits some characters. Hi, Alessandro. Thank you too. Hello, but you are right. I realize that it is futile to try and make someone understand. It was like asking life to be another way. Yeah, there's only like looking like you're rushing off for a bus or something. Paul, where is it now? That just made me laugh. Exactly. Where is it? Nowhere. Yeah. Nowhere. Where is it? It's this. It's a story appearing in this. It's always this. William, suffering and health issues. I can't help with health issues, but I don't understand what kind of suffering you mean. Sorry. Please be more specific. Definitely I can't help with health issues. I can make mint tea and I've got a box of plasters. That's it. That's my that's the best I can do with health issues. Health issues, you go to a doctor. Or a specialist. Hi, CD. Before I am. Me too, laughing here. Yeah. It can be hilarious. Hi, Phil. Do you find yourself living unexpectedly, as nothing is known really? Do you find yourself living unexpectedly? I can't actually say. There's nobody living. There's nobody living. I know that sounds like a real but there's nobody living. It's just what's happened. It's just what is. It's already. It's just this. You can't describe it as living. Is that what you mean, living? I don't know what living means anymore. Life and death have no meaning here anymore. Stephanie, hello from New Zealand. Love these chats. Oh, thank you, Stephanie. New Zealand, land of the hobbits. Wizards. I've never been to New Zealand. It's meant to be really beautiful. Hi, Keel. Because the me lives in time, tomorrow, future. Yeah. Well, tomorrow and future is always this, and somehow that's recognized. It doesn't have any kind of reality in it. So when I'm booking a flight for whenever, it doesn't feel like I'm actually booking a flight for the future. It just feels like it's just what Lisa does. It's just what Lisa does. It's impossible to describe. And actually, none of it matters. Yeah. Okay, yeah. I was writing a post, it was this week, about time. I love the whole subject of time. I think it's because I'm a bit of a sort of sci-fi fan, you know. I love those sci-fis which are like back to the going in and out of time travel. Anxiety driving me crazy. Yeah. This message doesn't deal with anxiety. I know that you probably want it to, but it doesn't. It could drive you more crazy. This message can drive people crazy, William. If it gives you some sort of relaxation, you know, then that can be a good thing. It depends what kind of anxiety it is. Is it just normal anxiety, like sort of self-consciousness, or is it something like more kind of mental health problem? Because if it's mental health problem, this is really not the place for you to be. Not really. But if it's just like irregular kind of feeling really self-conscious and really like, all those thoughts about not fitting in and all that sort of stuff. But this won't help that, though, you see. This won't help that. It doesn't help the person. It doesn't help anything. But there is always that beautiful possibility that this person will just slowly collapse. All those pillars in its holy temple of me can come crashing down, or be seeing that they never existed. Pillars of mist. And CBT is brilliant for anxiety. Yes. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yeah, so time. Why has it gone dark? It's going to wave my computer. Time. Because there is no time, and because there is this seeming paradox of things evolving, changing, everything fits together. I can walk out the door and I can walk down the street. Apparently, I'm not really walking down. Not really. I'm not really walking down the street, and it feels like there's been time and space. But it's so what the brain does. It compensates for this, and creates a linear story. And that linear story becomes a reality. But it's just a linear story for something which can never, ever be touched, felt, seen, or anything like this. And I came up with an analogy the other day with a friend. And I was saying, moving around, the body moving around is a bit like being in a virtual reality game. You're in a virtual reality game and you're in one room, okay? And in the game, you walk through another room and you go down to the basement where there might be zombies or something. And it feels like you've walked through a room and down the stairs and into the zombie basement. And you think there is actual space behind you to the other room. But really, you haven't moved. All that's happened is the pixels have changed into whatever's... You're not actually moving in space and time. It's just the moving of pixels. And here, it's a bit like that. It's like walking down the road and the energy is just changing. It's just changing itself into the new bit of the road. Anyway, CDD. I guess any mental suffering is purely from thought. The brain won't stop thinking thoughts, concocting. Yeah. The best thing you could do for a short-term solution, because hoping that the me will drop is not. It just CBT is a good one. Hi, Joe. Oh, did you like it? Thanks. That's what it's like. It's like being in a virtual reality, you know. Because in the virtual reality game, you assume, like, say this is the reality game of someone called Lisa, and she's in the living room, stroke dining room, and she wants to go through the door. She thinks there's really something else on the other side of the doors. The shutters are all closed because it's really hot. So she really believes that there's something out there. But it's not like that. It's not like that here. It's like everything just shifts and moves and changes. Because that's all that's ever happened, isn't it? You can see it. You can like intellectually see what I'm saying. Has it really moved forward? I mean, really, when you look at it, has it actually moved forward? No. The appearance have just changed. It's still the same. Paul, I'm not a sci-fi fan, but I love the whole space and time subject, yeah. It's so easy for me to see that there's neither. But when I try to explain it to people, they think I'm insane. Yeah. You can talk to me about it, Paul. Because I love it too. Yeah, if I just explained that analogy to like my neighbor, she'd just think you're bonkers. Joe, the new millennium. Says who? What about the sensations of the body moving? Makes movement seem real. Well, yeah, that's just part of it, isn't it? I'm not removing the body's part of the environment. The body's part of the environment. The body is actually just part of the environment. It's a part of the whole. The sensations in the body, this glass of water, the heat, the things, everything. So it's just one. It's just one. It's just one aliveness. Yeah, it makes movement seem real. You see, everything needs to seem real for the me, because it needs that ground that it calls its reality to be real. It's all real. This is real for me. It's apparent. Not saying like the table's made of mist or rainbows. It's apparent. But you will notice that it changes form regularly, like constantly. And yeah, me is convinced everything is real and solid. It seems quite easy to understand space and time conceptually, but it's living it. Yeah, you don't live it though. Nobody lives it anymore. It's the end of somebody living it. If that's what you mean. I think that's what you mean. Nobody's living a life anymore. But you can never understand that. There's nothing here that understands that. There's nothing here that needs to understand that. Or wants to. There's just nothing there for that. So that mechanism is just not here anymore. Just life is very simple. This life is very simple. It's just like everybody else's life. Except for without the endless me story. Doesn't mean that difficult things don't happen in this life. Sometimes I have to deal with difficult people. But, you know, that's just the way it goes. Paul, like Google street food. Yeah, just like that. Except for there's a body in it. With feet. Yeah, because when you do Google Gook view, what do you call that? Misanthrope or something? Because you're not actually moving down the street, are you? The pixels are just changing. And this is all energy. It's all energy. It just changes all the time. After this, it will change into a kitchen, a kettle, and a cup of tea. Maybe, maybe not. Phyllis, seeing that nothing could be otherwise than it is my calm anxiety. Yes, I suffer terribly from anxiety. After each glimpse, there appeared more anxiety for a time. Yeah. But I can't give anything to do about that. That's really what I'm saying. I can't. In this message, all the best you can do is just sit back and listen. But with this message, as pretty much everybody knows, is not going to give anything for somebody to do, because that's the wheel of seeking, and I don't do that here. Not for freedom anyway, but it can be relaxing, yeah, for sure. But there's nothing wrong with complementing that with something, with some sort of, something like CBT. Or did she say CBT or CBD? Did you say CBD or CBT? Yeah. I thought you said CBD for a moment there, the cannabis oil. And difficult to explain, but conceptually understanding it is difficult to explain, but conceptually understanding is not it. No, it's not. No, that's just conceptually understanding something. Doesn't matter either way. Would you ever do virtual reality meetings? Yes, I would if I had that technology. And we'd meet somewhere amazing, like on the Starship Enterprise or Middle Earth. Or the top of Mount Everest or something. Yeah, I certainly would. Bring it on. Joe Brew Up, I will be doing. Paul, a spoonerism. Yeah, yeah. Like Mary Hinge. Nice one, Paul. Yeah, I'm in. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, well, when the technology comes out, we can have like a kind of a lucky dip of like fantastical places we can meet. Another planet, maybe. The Middle Ages. It'd be great. I'd love that. They're a bit slow with the technology. They need to, like, you know, get on with it. I don't think you need implants for that. I think you could just do it with goggles, couldn't you? Eventually. Maybe they have got something like that. They probably have. It's probably very expensive. Virtual meetup rooms. William, I seem like the closer I get, the more intense my issues get. Well, there may be like some sort of appearance of what can happen is the sense of self can cling on to dear life when it feels like its story is being knocked down. Its sense of reality is being knocked, and it will cling on tighter. That could also be what's happening. Yeah, because the sense of the self, when it's starting to fall away, will be a real bugger to some people. Not to everybody, but to some people, they will have a real hard time with it. That can also happen. They can also experience a real grief and sorrow as well. And confusion. Yeah. The spiritual kind of teachings always talk about bliss and nirvana and all this stuff, but it can be a real doozy, actually. Phyllis, even if it's not advice, knowing it's all unfolding is the only possible way is encouraging. Yes, yes, the best anyone can do is just to keep listening. Because there's something so fresh and unhindered in the message. So unhindered. There's no trying. There's no trying to be anything or give anything, or it's just free. The message is free. Paul, can we get on top of erupting a volcano? Yeah, if it's virtual, it won't hurt. Oh, Joe, augmented reality. Yeah, yeah. Phyllis, we could be the non-seekers of the Holy Grail, like the Monty Python movie, virtual reality. Yeah. I wrote a poem about something like that today. It's on my blog. It's called The Horns of a Hare. It's a very short poem, but I think it's like, it's about seeking, and what a load of nonsense it is. Should I read it? Should I read it? Let me find it. Where is it? Blog. Okay. Horns of a Hare. It's got a picture I painted with it as well, of a jackalope. There is no non-duality. There is only this. There is no this. There is only life. There is no life. There is only nothing. There is no nothing. There is only everything. There is no everything. There is only freedom. there is no freedom. There are only the horns of a hare. And the horns of a hare don't make sense because they don't exist. That's what that means. William, that comment sounds very true to me. Yeah, the best you could do in this message is just keep listening. Because if somebody is speaking this message and it's just totally this wondrous freedom, they won't be able to give anything for you to do, but you won't need anything to do. Because you can't do anything anyway. TD. Story is when a person constantly thinks of self. Dropping the story leaves nothing but what is. It can still be a sense of a person. Or that won't last long. Won't last long. Or it might. Who do I know? I don't know. Who do I know? What do I know? I know nothing. I know nothing. But I think practices can act. Just practices. I used to try dropping stories. Dropping stories can create perhaps a more relaxation temporarily. Thanks, Ramona. Hi, Stephen. From Seattle, right? Hello. I also have times of great anxiety, and I never used to have. It is totally new experience, a slap in the face of the one who believes it is in any kind of control. It can be quite brutal and surreal. Yeah. You know, Lisa was going along quite nicely. She stopped being a seeker. She was in a relationship. She had loads of hobbies. Life was fine. Life was fine. And then something happened in the life. Boom. Person dropped away. Boom. Person came back. And it was, poor Lisa was just a mess for about a year. So there you go. That can happen. Mona, I was at Tony's and he spoke about Adam and Eve eating the apple of knowledge and fell out of paradise. I love that image. Like this knowledge or trying to know anything instantly imprisons a perception claim. Yeah. Stephen. Yes, sunny Seattle. Is it hot in Seattle, Stephen? But I don't know. Yeah. CD. Or, when the story drops on its own. Yes. Everything happens on its own. Paul isn't dropping stories. Yeah, I think that she just qualified that. Yeah. Okay, a little discussion here about that. Yes, it could appear that the me story, the me dropped the story. Yeah, none of it matters anyway, actually. None of it matters anyway. No one's doing anything. No one's having a story. No one's having a me. No one's doing the me. No one's doing the story. No one's doing anything. There's an appearance of somebody thinking they're doing something. Even that's free. That's free. It's all free. Me is free. No me is free. Glasses are free. Sellotape is free. Got my friend the sellotape here again. And my version of Adam and Eve. Yeah, it's a nice one. This line. When really the story dropping is just another dream, another story appearing. Yeah. Whatever happens is the whole of aliveness being itself. Doesn't really matter. Stephen, yeah, it was cool for 2 days, but apparently the heat is coming back tomorrow. All right, good luck. Ramona, does it have to come from with suffering? No, it doesn't. Not at all. No, not at all. I did say when I said that it happens to some people, but not to everybody. And with that, it's even more or less, it doesn't really. Slide. Does anyone tell their parents about this message? I don't. Or my daughter. No. I don't even tell my local cockroach. Some people might. Okay, people, any last things before I go? And if you'd like to become a Patreon, you'll find a link underneath, even if it's just like, you know, €4 a month. What's that? It's €1 a week. It's nothing. I'd be very grateful. Sheila, don't they listen to you? No. I think my mother has a copy of my book, but she said she had a look at it. She doesn't really know what it's about. She just likes having the book because it's apparently I wrote it. It's just a motherly thing that she's doing it. I don't want to talk to them about it, actually. There's no need. They're just how they are. They're perfect as they are. They're my parents. They're absolutely perfect as they are. Before I am, how exactly did your me drop? Please tell us, Lisa, if you don't mind. It was just a change in appearance. That's really all I can say. There was no how to it. There's no how. What can I say? It's all a story now anyway, because it's just a change in appearance. It's no different from night and day. The difference is night and day, though. Having an appearance of poor Lisa, to whatever. What can I say? Just wasn't there anymore. Just woke up one morning, it wasn't there. Oh yeah, that's it. There was confusion. Joe, next week? Yeah, I'll be here next week. The only time I'm not going to be here, that's not till the end of September. I'm going to Berlin. I'm going to see my very good friend who thinks this message is a load of nonsense, but he's one of my best friends. And Tony's going to be on, so I'm going to go and spend the afternoon with Tony. Jim. Thanks, Jim. I'll try. Stephen, most people reject this message. Yeah, and why not? Why not? Doesn't matter anyway, does it? Thanks, Tony. Thanks, Claudia. Thanks, Paul. Thanks, Joe. Thanks, Keel. CDD. Just happened out of nowhere. Yeah, like everything. Like the cup of tea are apparently going to make. It's going to appear out of nowhere. Tea! Like anything. That's what I'm always trying to say. It's already everything. People are looking for this me dropping. But it's already everything. It's just this. It's here. Oh, thanks, Anne. Come on, people. Don't be stingy. Yeah, just €1 a week. Because I do answer a lot of questions and things behind the scenes. I don't get paid for any of that. You know, there's people always emailing me and messaging me. But if you don't, that's fine too. That's okay. I get it. More tea, Vicar. Enjoy the day. Thank you, Stephen. It's nighttime here now. I'm going to go sit on my roof where it's
cool when the sun goes down and read and just read and drink tea. Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I will see some of you on Wednesday night. And if not, I will see you next Sunday. Shall we chip in and buy you a better fan? Now, the fan's fine. Or buy a beautiful painting. Yes, I have some paintings on my website. Nice one, Keel. I should put my new ones up. Okay, guys. Lots of love. Bye.